The Acolyte Season 1 finale, most people are calling it the series finale, drops tomorrow night, and now the Shill media has betrayed Disney. Now they're saying there's no hope for Season 2, they see the writing on the wall, and I only have one response for that.
Only now, at the end, do you understand?
Hey everybody, welcome back to Echo Base Network. First things first, we're going to jump right into this whole debacle with the media. The people who have been staunchly defending this terrible show, the show that has a 14% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. The people who have been defending this and attacking the people who criticize it in any way. It doesn't matter if you criticize the acting, the production, the cost, the financial cost, or if you go the DEI woke agenda route, the people, the media who have been counterattacking, it's all about, they just say it's woke, that's all it is, there's nothing wrong with this story, I see no evidence to suggest that the show is bad at all. Really, until now, of course. Now they're coming out and now they're saying, there's no hope that we're going to get a season 2, and here's why. Nobody in media defends Disney Star Wars more than Forbes' Paul Tassi. And yesterday he writes the article, Why the Acolyte Season 2 Looks Increasingly Unlikely, even though Leslye Headland has spoken about not only Season 2, not only Season 3, but also Season 4. Hell no. Tassi writes, The Acolyte has quickly become one of the most controversial Disney Star Wars projects in the entire era, right up there with The Last Jedi. But all the hate and or support aside, there's a simple question. Will The Acolyte get a Season 2? Ever since the last few excellent episodes, I have gone from mixed on the show to a supporter, and no matter what happens in the finale, I'd like to see it continue, but I have to admit that seems exceedingly unlikely based on what we know. No, it's not about the show being woke or it being bashed by Star Wars YouTubers and their audiences. Rather, it's pretty simple. Cost versus viewership. Just right here off the bat, I'm going to have to disagree with Paul. It's all of it. It's cost versus viewership and everything else. There's a reason why this is the lowest rated Star Wars of all time in any medium. Movie, cartoon, live action show, whatever. This is the lowest by far. Tassi writes about the viewership and about the viewership numbers for Ahsoka, the viewership numbers for The Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett. And he's saying that this show cost $180 million. It's not charting on Nielsen. It doesn't have a big enough demand to continue. And then he says this, which is one of their go-tos. Before you say, well, it's just so bad, that's why viewership is low. You should know the least watched show is Andor, universally praised as one of the best things in Star Wars history, even past the Disney era. Well, he's right about that. But here's the thing that Paul Tassi and Disney sycophants miss. Lucasfilm has dug themselves into a hole so deep, there's no way out. They have done irreparable damage to the brand. The only way out of this is to hit a hard reset button. That means Kathleen Kennedy's got to go, and I say even Dave Filoni's got to go. We got to wipe the slate clean and start this whole thing over. There's a reason why, show after show, there's fewer and fewer viewers. It's true with The Mandalorian. It's true. You go through it all. The Book of Boba Fett, Kenobi. I mean, these series were not good. And even a marginally adequate show in Ahsoka. I wasn't really a fan of the show. I tried to be. I liked the first few episodes, but the storytelling in that show was just bad. They cannot tell good stories at Lucasfilm. And with it, there's fewer and fewer viewers as time goes on, and they roll out more and more Star Wars shows. So what's the solution? Come out with a Rey movie? You got to be kidding me. I know. How about Skeleton Crew? Babysitters in Space. That'll be great. I'm sure it will be better than The Acolyte, but guys, the viewership numbers are going to be terrible. Just wait and see. They have damaged Star Wars to where it cannot be repaired. It has to have a hard reset. People have to go. They're not going to fire Kathleen Kennedy. We can forget about that. She's got to age out and retire. If Bob Iger won't fire Joy Behar, he's not going to fire Kathy Kennedy. When you are comparing Andor to The Acolyte, it is truly apples and oranges. Actually, it's like steak and rotten chicken McNugget. Like, I'm not kidding. It's not even close. And here's the thing about it. Andor was really good in terms of storytelling, but it wasn't a big draw. It wasn't a big draw for audiences. It didn't bring people in. Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie by far in the Disney era. They made a show, a spin-off show, based on their best movie, and it didn't do well. The audience score is terrific, but the brand is damaged. People have hit the exits, and they're moving on to other things. I've said it a million times. Disney Plus is the worst streaming service of all major streaming platforms, period. Tassie doesn't give up all hope that The Acolyte gets a season 2, and I'm going to tell you guys, I hope it does get a season 2. Because I have not had this much fun covering Star Wars in a long time, because this has been hilarious. They didn't mean for it to be comedy, but it's been comedy. Here's his signs of hope for a season 2. Leslye Headland clearly has a story mapped out for future seasons. Disney has a lot riding on the High Republic era being theirs to build out. No, they don't. And then lastly, they did in fact greenlight Andor Season 2 with a huge budget, so they may do it again if they aren't done overspending on Star Wars and Marvel projects like this. The catch-22 here is if they continue to roll out this kind of Star Wars, it is truly going to be a graveyard. Like, this, Star Wars should never be put in this position, but these are the people that revived a franchise, that bought it from George Lucas, and didn't even have the intellectual fortitude to put Han, Luke, and Leia and Chewbacca on screen together again. They couldn't even do that. And basically what that means is it wasn't Star Wars to begin with. Another Shill site, Star Wars News Net, or SWNN, says this week in a galaxy far, far away, breaking down how The Acolyte's disappointing reception affects Star Wars. Well, I don't even have to read the article and I can tell you. You just further damage the brand. It's irreparable. It cannot be fixed unless there is the hard reset. Kathy's got to go. The writing team's got to go. Filoni's got to go. And you know the likelihood of those things happening? Not very likely. The answer to this problem is very simple. There is fan apathy. There are fans hitting the exit, and they're not coming back. Grogu, the whole thing about Grogu, that magic has worn off. That doesn't work anymore. Star Wars fans need more than this. There's a whole bunch of shills out there on social media that just consume, and they just love everything Star Wars makes, but that doesn't resonate with the fandom. And the fact that this show has a 14% audience score reflects fan apathy, no doubt about it. Here's the only thing I know. The Acolyte ends Tuesday night. The moment the show drops, we're watching. The moment it ends, we're live. And we're going to have all kinds of YouTube content creators here with us on the channel, on the live stream. Come by, watch this big event here on our channel as we break down the last episode, the finale, the series finale. I'm going to go ahead and call it that. And let's see how YouTubers across the space are reacting to it. If you love The Acolyte, come on in. Let us know what you think. You are welcome. We would love to hear from you, but I don't think there's very many of you. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. We are Echo Base Network. May the Force be with you. See you on the next one.